Broadcast sound check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, hello. Secondary sound check. 1, 2, 3. Hey, hey. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Harbor Center in downtown Buffalo, New York. We are just moments away from getting underway here. Saturday night NWHL action, and it doesn't get any bigger than this here as the Buffalo Beauts play host to the 3-0 Metropolitan Riveters. Alongside Eric Walschlager, I'm Jeff Boyd here with you this evening on Military Appreciation Night. See the Beauts in their Arctic camo-inspired uniforms here, and they're ready for what could be an all-out war if it was like the last time these two teams met up.
Yeah, battle is an understatement, I believe, if you're referring to the game where 18 penalties were called in the third period, and it got very physical to the point where 2 Beauts were suspended. So they're back on the ice for the first time since then to face this team that they battled so hardly against and earned their suspensions.
A 6-2 victory for the Riveters in that last contest. Both Jess Jones and Sarah Casorso for the Beauts missed last Saturday's victory over the Boston Pride. They're both back into the lineup tonight, and we'll talk a little bit more as the evening goes along about inserting them back into a lineup that really had one of their best all-around efforts of the franchise's history on home ice. A very complete 5-3 team win over Boston last Saturday.
Yeah, and Levier spoke after the game and said it was on her for those 3 goals. She doesn't like to let those 3 in. And it really was a dominant 40-minute performance by that Beauts team that they put out on the ice, and kind of surprised to see a little bit of a shake-up in the lines tonight.
And how fitting on a night where Brianne McLaughlin comes back to pick up her championship ring. You hear Amanda Levier make comments like that as she assumes that #1 goaltender role, and I have a hard time blaming her for all 3 of those goals through traffic in a lot of cases, but she's willing to, she wants to be a perfectionist. She wants nothing to get past her, and she's going to go against another goaltender tonight in Katie Fitzgerald, who doesn't let very few in at all.
Yeah, 0.948 goals save percentage, and you know she's just outperforming everybody in the league right now. Goal scorers, goaltenders, she's the #1, and the reason that the Rivs are 3-0 right now.
Last week it became just the 3rd goaltender in NWHL history to reach double digits in victories, and just now her 2nd season with the Riveters. And coming into last year, she wasn't even slated in that #1 goaltender spot, but she got her chance and has risen to the occasion time and time again, and is a large part of the reason why the Riveters come into this game 3-0. Both teams coming out here to start off. It's a dangerous combination of speed on the ice for the Riveters. It is Colzer on the back end with Picard, Russo, Lawler, and Grushow up front. For the Beauts, it is Kunachika, Akersi, and Elia up front, with Greco and Edney on the back end.
Yeah, and Kunachika primary assists on both Elia and Akersi's goals last week. Both of them mentioned in their post-game comments how much they enjoy playing with Kunachika, so maybe the coach is paying a little bit of attention to that tonight.
And we are underway here Saturday night NWHL action. So glad that you could join us. We've got a good one in store here for you tonight. Fought for at the Riveters blue line, deflected up ahead just though out of the reach of Russo. Jackie Greco backtracking into her own end to scoop it up and take it in behind the Buffalo goal. Pass across, banks off the boards there. Back pass by Kunachika to Elia, now to Taylor Akersi. Akersi's backhand pass into the zone is picked up by Colzer. And now ahead to Erica Lawler. Stretch pass deflected off a stick in front of the bench, off the stick of Alexa Grushow, and into the Riveters bench for a face-off. Just 34 seconds in. We'll take a second to reset here. Both teams a little bit loose with the puck here to start.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier on that it might be a tense matchup, but it seems they're willing to let bygones be bygones and play some hockey here instead of the battle that took place prior.
Ketchum and Skamura collide along the wall. Ketchum turns and fires it in, rolls slowly in behind Levier. Ott there to pick it up. Deflected through center ice and picked up here by Rebecca Vint. Banks it around, goes chasing after it, collides there with Dosdell. Chasing after it, picks it up. Vint tried to throw it back to Casorso at the point, but deflected away from her and back the other way. It's Rafter. Quickly with it, Tatiana. Rafter fires on a blocker, saved by Levier. Casorso backhand to the line, but kept in there by Burke. Knocked down at the line and fired on just wide. Work around to catch him in behind the goal to Mie Dench. Had her stick lifted, but the jostle there still for Ketchum everywhere on this shift. Gets up to the Buffalo captain, Corinne Bowie, who's surrounded by red uniforms. Lawler back to Burke at the point. Fires it in behind the Buffalo goal, hard around the wall. Skamura chasing after it there for the Beauts. Hits off a player. Is taken back by Vint, turning with it. Lays there at center ice and is picked up and taken back the other way. Ryan leaves it for Lawler. Back to Harrison Brown. His shot deflected and goes just wide. Looking for Rebecca Russo in front of the Buffalo goal. Ryan. Their pass deflected and taken away. Back the other way by Lewicki. Now to Donahue. Donahue shot deflected on in front by Jess Jones. Covered and held by Katie Fitzgerald.
Yeah, and if you're going to beat Fitzgerald, that's what you're going to need to do. A little bit of a quick misdirection in front of the net. She was prepared for that original shot, maybe not for the dribbler that came off of Jones' stick. So get those low shots on, make her kick out some rebounds, and hopefully be there to bury that puck.
We talked last week about the Adrian trio, where Lewicki played in college with two of her line mates who all came here to the Butte. Tonight she is the lone member of that trio playing here on Buffalo's top line, so we'll see how she gels with her new line mates, Jones and Donahue. They're out there now. Harrison Brown chasing after it. He turns, able to get it up there to Lawler. Lawler's pass deflected, glove down, knocked ahead, but out of the reach of everyone wearing blue, and Brown back with it one more time. He dumps it around, goes chasing after it, trying to get around Chesson. Knocked down there by Jordan Burns. Gets it back to Chesson. Had a great game in Buffalo's victory last weekend, just on both ends of the ice, creating havoc, although this pass out of the reach of its intended target. Jordan Burns all the way down for an icing call. 17-17 remaining here in the first.
One of the areas that Buffalo did shake up a little bit tonight was the defensive pairs. Now we have Edney and Greco, that's a traditional pair, and Burns and Chesson have played together previously too, but now we have Ott and Casorso out, and it looks like the coaches have kind of, while they're still playing with the forward lines, they have set defensive pairs that they like to go with so far.
There is Jordan Burns in behind the Buffalo goal, jostling there. They tie up to a side, it comes loose, and Buffalo will pick it back the other way. Here's Donahue. Takes center ice, turns and fires it in behind the Riveters' goal. Elia chasing after it there with Dosdell. They collide and both go down in the corner as Riveters captain Ashley Johnson goes back to pick it up. Fighting there with Skamura, trying to fight through a nice check there by Skamura, who takes it away up to Elia. Elia turning with it, works it back to the point. Edney turns and fires. Pad save made by Fitzgerald, and a second whack at it there coming from Kunachika. Floats just wide. Here's Jackie Greco. Back the other way, tons of speed to Burn. Quickly onto Levier there from Dench, who drew a penalty in the process. Levier makes the save. Fitzgerald back to the Riveters bench. Dench in the slot winds and fires. That one is blocked down by Skamura, and the whistle blows on tonight's first penalty. One can only hope we won't see 18 in the third period, but these teams have proven that they're not super fond of each other. In that case, though, just tons of speed from E.A. Dench and left Edney really with nothing else to do.
Yeah, and just as I said that they look like they're about to play a hockey game, we had some jostling between Skamura and Johnston over here along the board, so things might heat up just as we kind of unpredicted.
Riveters' first power play of the evening. They made the most of their chances in the last game. It is Edney who will sit for 2 or less. Officially called tripping, but you could have called it any sort of stick-based infraction you prefer. There's Jenny Ryan on the half wall, turns and fires it back down low to Mia Dench. Out along the wall to Russo. Russo back to Burke. Burke walks the line across to Ryan. Ryan down to Grushow, looking back to Ryan. Jenny Ryan turns on, and that one off of Levier off the side of the net. Fought for off the back of the net, and actually don't believe it ever got off the back of the net. Whistle will blow, and there's some more jostling, as you just mentioned, Eric, in behind the play. These teams conjuring up memories of their first encounter this season.
Yeah, they're going to definitely have to get that under control, or this is going to be a long and arduous game for both teams.
I think the term grudge match is sometimes overused, although if there is ever an appropriate game to call, this is a big grudge match between these two teams, and not the last time they'll meet this season either. Face-off tied up, one just ahead and picked up. Slowly skating ahead, taking your time with all the room in the world as Lisa Chesson turns and fires it all the way down the ice. Dosdell in behind her own goal, leaves it there for Kelsey Kolzer. Second power play unit out here now for the Riveters. Here's Dosdell through center ice. Had it knocked off her stick by Skamura, floats back now to Chesson, who will bank this one right back down the ice, and a good job there contesting by Skamura and Kunachika at the Buffalo blue line, forcing the Riveters now all the way down. Skating through center ice is Dosdell one more time. She played it back to her forehand and actually played catch-em off sides.
And, we talked about how often this Buffalo team was penalized in that last matchup with the Riveters, but shockingly, they've allowed only 3 goals the entire season on the penalty kill. They got the league's best penalty kill once again, and although they haven't been as dangerous shorthanded, I'm sure they're looking to get one here.
Well, one of their most dangerous penalty killers in the last 2 seasons is now suiting up and wearing red on the other side of the ice in Harrison Brown. Dench. Back to the point, picked up there by Ryan, across to Courtney Burke. Backhand pass near side half wall to Russo. Back to Burke. Across to Ryan. Back up high to Burke looking for a shooting lane. That one's blocked down by Jones. Burke switching spots there with Russo. Loose to Grusha, who couldn't find the handle trying to work around Casorso. Grusha gets it back, spinning with it in the slot. Creating tons of space for her teammates as she leaves it back for Ryan. Pass across to Burke, keeps it on side. Burke walks it down to the slot, fires that one on pad save. Levier rebound chance from Russo. Rising high and wide. Edney standing now, rejoining the play. Riveters still with tons of pressure on Buffalo. Ryan's backhand chance on turned away by Levier. Ott trying to find the handle on it, taken away though by Dench, fought through, and now Lewicki will pick this puck up with lots of room in front of her and speed to waste here. Takes it back the other way for the Buse. Lewicki trying to go around. Burke leaves it in front. Chance there for Edney. Deflected off of Fitzgerald and off the side of the net. Skamura picks the pocket of Courtney Burke there. Wasn't able to find the handle. Second whack at it. Quick riser from Skamura up over the crossbar. Greco keeps it onto the blue lane. That one's sticked away by Fitzgerald. Skamura absolutely everywhere in the offensive zone right now. Back to Greco one more time. Deflected that second chance in front, turned away by Fitzgerald, and she finds the handle. Covers up for a face-off. And a good response there from Buffalo offensively. Haley Skamura creating tons of chances there in front for her teammates.
Yeah, so that that Metro first power play was out for a lot of that 2 minutes. They did get a break in the middle, but bookended that shift. And got caught a little bit tired, I think, with Lewicki driving to the net in that first opportunity, and Skamura just totally taking over from there.
Riveters trying to keep control here in their own defensive zone. Get some fresh legs out here. Brown and Lawler, both there on the wall there for the Riveters. Comes back down below the goal line. Was picked up by Michelle Picard. Across to Colzer. Colzer now off the stick of Lawler. Couldn't find the handle, but at least is able to get it out of her own zone. Up ahead to Brown. Play on side of the Buffalo blue line as it floats up in the air, is knocked down by Greco. Across to Edney. Edney far side taken here and turned and fired in by Skamura, who will go off for a change. Colzer now to Lawler. Left there, Colzer. That pass off the stick of Russo at center ice. Icing waved off. It's going to die a good bit short as Greco turns and leaves it there for Edney. Up to Corinne Bowie. Stretch pass through center ice to Vint. Vint works it inside. Rebecca Vint, second chance at it. Loose to the slot, turns it on. Fitzgerald might have got a piece of that as Vint slides into the corner. Ketchum backhands it into the corner, goes chasing after it there. Both Buffalo defenders there first, though. Jordan Burns up to a Kersey. Pass back to the point, intercepted. That one, a quick shot coming through from Dosdell goes just wide. Chesson tried to work it out, and that one dangerously off the side of the net. Back to the point. Johnston winds and fires. That one blocked down by Bowie. Dosdell juggled at the point, played it off sides. And with the delayed offsides, the Buttes now with a chance to collect and take it back the other way. Bowie takes center ice, he'll turn and fire it in. Buffalo's forwards getting a much-needed change. Riveters quickly back the other way. Johnson juggles it for a second. That one knocked up by Chesson. The two defenders collided center ice right in front of the penalty boxes. Lewicki chips it around Ketchum all the way back down, but Dosdell there first for the Riveters. Ketchum backhands it up ahead, picked up by Casorso. Her backhand pass knocked away by her. Casorso goes wide. Sarah Casorso all the way back down to the Metro defensive zone. Still chasing after it. Jenny Ryan there for the Riveters, takes it away. Ryan. Bank pass looking to spring Morris, although out of her reach all the way down. Op the first one there for Buffalo for an icing. Lost her edge there at the icing line, so glad to see that she's getting up. Okay.
She was very excited to make sure that she won the icing call for that Buffalo team tonight.
Giving all she can here to her team. With 11-12 remaining, we'll have a face-off down here in the Metro defensive end. We remain scoreless. Both teams with 4 shots on goal aside. Both teams have had their chances. Face-off one ahead by Elia, but taken right away by the Riveters. Her. Back to Burke. Off the glass, looking there for Rafter. Rafter back pass in behind the goal to Ryan. Up ahead to Morris. To the blue line. That one kicked ahead there by Rafter. Her trying to get it back to Rafter. And at the Buffalo blue line, they fight for it. Comes ahead to Kunachika. Now to Elia. Maddie Elia. Not much to do with that one there other than throw it behind the goal line. Courtney Kunachika, who enjoys playing the puck down there, goes chasing right after it for Buffalo. Elia not able to find the handle on it. Riveters able to get it back the other way. Rafter takes center ice and turns it up ahead. Russo, who might be one of the fastest skaters, not the fastest skater in the NWHL, goes chasing after it. Edney beats her there. That one hit off the official in front of the Buffalo bench, and it's picked up here by Colzer. Now to Johnston. Takes center ice, turns it on there. Knocked down behind the goal by Levier. Kunachika trying to spring it back for Buffalo, though her pass out of the reach of Edney and picked up there by Dosdell. Brown, back other side to Russo. Now to Lawler. Play is offsides in front of the Buffalo bench. Looked like Lawler hesitated a second there, trying to dodge around some Buffalo players who were getting off for a change in this. That split second played the play offsides.
Yeah, and New York had a couple of chances on that last shift, but it really was Buffalo's shift, and a lot of that has to do with the play of Courtney Kunachika. She's underrated player, but man, can she do everything on the ice.
The only current member of the Buttes who's been here for all 3 seasons. And just that kind of veteran leadership. We spoke to Taylor Accursi about it last week. Just really helps everyone that she's out on the ice with. Johnston down below the goal line. Trying to turn it there to Grusha, but contested. And fired back to the blue line. Kept in, though, by Dosdell. Turned on pad, saved by Levier. Dench picks it back up. Burns tried to walk around her, ended up turning it right back over to the Riveters forward. Grusha back in front to Dench, fires. Big pad save made by Levier. Tucked back into her equipment. And what might be the best early chance for the Riveters is answered by the Buffalo goaltender.
Yeah, that looked like she had played herself out of position there in that original save, but she was able to recover and get that puck swallowed under her pads, which is probably a smart idea because a lot of the defenders were looking and really had no idea where that puck had landed. That
Dench and Grusha combination was lethal for the Riveters in their first matchup with the Buttes this season, as it has been in all 3 of their games.
Yeah, just lethal end of sentence right there.
Face-off one back there by Lewicki for Buffalo. They try to get some momentum, go back the other way, although Harrison Brown contests it. Tries to win it away to Lawler. Now gloved ahead here by Lewicki. Lewicki trying to spring it back to Jones, just out of her reach. Lawler turning with it in her own defensive zone. Bank pass ahead, contested by Lewicki, who collides there with Brown. Kicked ahead by Jones for a second. Harrison Brown has it pinned to the boards, I believe, as he's trying to get back to his feet. Burke's pass back into her own end. Scooped up, looking back for Brown, but picked off there by Vinton. Fired right back in a low floater onto Fitzgerald, who will knock it in behind the goal to Ryan. Left there for Burke, now back to Ryan. Pass ahead, picked up by Morse. Off the skates of Russo, and again, offsides. Riveters timing just a little bit off here in a couple of those passes, something we didn't see out of them the last couple of weeks, just trying to get their speed through the neutral zone, and Buffalo's defense doing a good job, doing just enough to kind of get them off their game there at the blue line.
I'm going to totally give credit to the Buffalo Buttes and just being disruptive altogether.
Last 3 shots have all gone to the Riveters. They lead 7-4 in that category now, with 8:33 and counting remaining here in the opening period. Michelle Picard. Glove down in front of her own bench there, turned on by Dench, and Grusha goes streaking after it. Alexa Grusha collides there, the line to play with Greco. Kept in the line here by Colzer, tried to turn it back down low to Grusha, but the whole way a good defensive play there is made by Sarah Edney. Cutting wide again, it's Grusha. Drags it in behind the Buffalo goal line, waiting, pass back in front to catch him. Colzer whack at it, and that one slides to the crease and wide. Picard back to Colzer. Colzer, that one deflected on the side of the goal, they score. A slap pass from Kelsey Colzer fooled everyone wearing blue, and it is Bray Ketchum on the back door who gives the Riveters a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that's something Buffalo has a tendency to do, is kind of get caught staring at the puck, and nobody even aware that Ketchum was down low with all the room in the world. Levier, playing the opposite side of the goal, and easy tap in.
Colzer had 2 of the 6 Riveters goals in these teams' first matchup, and showing off her passing skills here tonight. A perfect pass right in Ketchum's wheelhouse, and by the time Levier realized where that puck was, there wasn't a whole bunch she could do about it. Metro, as they have so much this season, find themselves in the lead. Burns turning back with the behind the Buffalo goal, across here now to Lisa Chesson. Pass intended for Bowie, contested there by Lawler, now back to Chesson. Around behind here, Jordan Burns. Stretch pass knocked down, read by Vince. Vint drags it inside. Rebecca Vint finds that one on save made by Fitzgerald as a couple of players go sliding through the near side post, and a whistle comes as a result of that.
That was a nice drag by Vint to get herself open, but just a little bit too close to the goal by the time she found the handle on the puck. You know, if she had maybe an extra foot and a half, that's a goal for sure.
Able to get a shot on Fitzgerald, but as Eric mentioned, not really the shot she would have wanted when she was able to create that room by the time she was able to get it back to her forehand. Found herself up close and personal with the Riveters netminder, who's not going to let many in from that angle. Chesson drags it along the half wall. Bad angle shot on the Fitzgerald is patted away. Burns, shot blocked down by Dench. Turning with it, Corin Bowie. Back across, looking in front for Vint, but intercepted and taken back the other way there by Johnston. Ketchum chasing after it, has it picked up by Bowie, although Grusha following up the play here. A great forecheck for the Riveters, and they've got themselves set back up. Johnston, her shot is blocked down and taken back now. Scooped ahead by Bowie, looking for a Kersey out of her reach. Vint plays it up ahead as a collision from the Buffalo bench, and the Riveters have the puck back. Mia Dench. Back to the point, winding and firing. That one deflected off a couple of bodies in front. It's Picard's shot from the point, and we will wait to see who got the last piece of it. I don't know if Grushow did or if it just hit off the Buffalo defender.
I believe Grushow got it, and then it hit the Buffalo defender, and then it got behind Levier, and this is definitely not the start that Buffalo needed to have tonight.
And the way that the Riveters players are reacting, and by the packing order on the fist bump line back to the bench, it is Alexa Grushow again, who is having an incredible season, and it just continues. She had 2 against the Buttes in their first game, was all over the ice, and a quick 2-0 lead now here for the Riveters. A rather innocent-looking play, but just a deflection in front there off a couple of bodies in behind Levier, and it is 2-0 Riveters. Her. Moves it back for Rafter. Rafter back to the point. Coles didn't get all of it. It's scooped up and taken back the other way now by Jess Jones. Jones across to Donahue. Donahue looking back for Jones. Her pass deflected away there by Picard. Neither one of them looked like they were too anxious to shoot the puck. Picked up behind the play. Working it in front. Second back at Fitzgerald is down, and they score!
I was wondering if that was going to count with Jones stretched out in the crease, but it looks like since she was taken down by the defender, that's going to be a Buffalo goal, and it doesn't take long, and it doesn't take much. Finally, Katie Fitzgerald is beaten.
Yeah, the head official was right on top of the goal line, waiting and watching the play. He never signaled anything other than goal. Fitzgerald didn't argue it too much, and it is Catherine Donahue. It's her first as a Butte, and a huge time for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry I paused. I was trying to figure out who it was that got the goal.
No, you're good. It was Jones who whacked it in front. I think that that Lewicki might have got a piece of it. It's ultimately Catherine Donahue. It's her first as a Butte, and with 6 minutes to go here in the first period, it's back to a 1-goal game. And I just have this feeling that will not be the last goal we see tonight with the way these two teams are playing offensively. Burke plays it back behind here. Jenny Ryan's pass ahead to Lawler. Left there, Caruso now to Brown. He has his pocket pick. Skamura up ahead. Taken here by Elia. Maddie Elia turning with it down below the Riveters goal line. Bumped out of the play, but able to leave it there for her teammates. Skamura, bad angle shot blocked down in the slot. Kunachika turning with it. Trying to play herself into space. Read well there by Ryan. Both players go down. Elia turning with it back in front, looking for the play, pinching down off the wall for Greco. Still loose in the slot. Bad angle shot off the side of the net. Eric and I both jumped for a second. You see the net ripple like that on a shot. Picked up, though, for the Riveters here by Harrison Brown. Scooped ahead. Russo off the boards, back to center ice. These Riveters forwards desperately needing a change. A Kersey across to Vint. Vint patiently waiting for her teammates to join her here. A Kersey scoops it off the board, spinning away from Johnston. A Kersey down below the goal line, tried to leave it there for Bowie. Taken away by Ryan, kept in by Burns. Second whack at it for Ryan, high off the glass, away from Ketchum, but knocked up ahead by Grushow. Only player back for Buffalo is Chesson, who will beat Grushow to the puck. Chesson's pass intercepted across the Dench, turned away by Levier. Great picture-perfect passing by the Riveters, testing Levier. Johnston's shot through the slot. You can see these Riveters defenders really just shooting those, looking for tips. They're not really trying to fire these shots up high on Levier. They're waiting for the forwards in the slot.
Yeah, and that's a really good idea. I mean, that's one area that Levier might be the weakest on.
Bowie has it taken away, picked back up by Dosdell. Here at Osdell, stretch pass knocked out of the air by Accursi, but picked back up the other way by Morse. Morse turns it on, caught and held by Levier for a face-off with 3:53 still to go here in period number 1.
Yeah, and as I was saying before, those tip shots are what's going to beat Levier. She's very, very good. We saw early on her making a save, getting a little bit out of position, but resetting herself and getting back. Laterally, she's amazing. So getting her moving isn't necessarily the way to beat her. It's getting those tips out in front.
Casorso. Pass up ahead, tip now to Lewicki. Lewicki has some room on Colzer. Lewicki backhand chance turned on and held by Fitzgerald, and then the Buttes forward came in there and collided with Fitzgerald. I believe that was Jones, who immediately put her hands up as if, sorry, I didn't mean to slide that far. Although Jones had a little bit of a run in the last game with some Riveters defenders who may be a little less understanding.
We'll have to believe her that it wasn't on purpose, but a replay might show otherwise.
Well, Jenny Ryan just came out onto the ice, lined up across from Jones, and then Jones goes right off. Jones got suspended for the last week's game because she tore Jenny Ryan's helmet off in a scrap late in the third period of the last time these two teams tangled up. Kunachika jam pass in front. Fitzgerald got it. And then Skamura was crashing down there, was swept away in front of Fitzgerald. The net came off its moorings again as Skamura and Ryan ran into the near side post. Neither one of them given up an inch. And we'll have the faceoff forthcoming.
Yeah, this game is no less physical than we anticipated, and as you said, the scoring is already pretty high too, so this is just some fun hockey here on a Saturday night.
Ryan turning with it back behind the goal. Across now to Burke. Burke's pass ahead, knocked down, taken back the other way. Turning with it is Dench, scoops it into the air. Ketchum chasing after it. Ketchum looking back in front for Grusha, who was tied up. Ends up kicking into the corner where the Buttes pick it back up. Kunachika. Across to Elia. Maddie Elia drags it in front, looking for Skamura. Loose in the slot. Then it is in. Kunachika, I believe, got the last whack at it. Fitzgerald was scrambling around, and no one found the puck until it landed on the stick of Courtney Kunachika, and we are tied at 2-a-side.
And that play is, again, 100% Kunachika. This line, yeah, I really hope that Buffalo keeps it together the entire season, because she and these twin towers of power are just incredible together. It's like they've been playing together the entire 3 seasons, and this is maybe the second game that they've been aligned. So incredible to see them and just the chemistry that they have already.
Courtney Kunachika, the 3-year veteran, has tied this game at 2-a-side. Riveters right back on offense. A shot from the point just wide of the Buffalo goal. That one scooped by Edney is going to roll all the way down the ice. Johnston chasing after it. Had just enough of a head start to beat the speedy Taylor Accursi and earn that icing call. 2:45 to go here in the first period. Eric, we talked a little bit last week about the shift of Kunachika from her center position, where she played the first 2 years, now to playing right wing, and her responsibilities have really shifted to allow her to play much more of a creative role, and that's now her 4th assist of the season already here in 4 games. It's really coming through in spades.
Yeah, and playing with a little bit of more offensively focused players really has helped her as well just kind of come to the forefront and really be the complete player that she can be.
Lawler turning with it. Brown follows it up as well. Punched ahead, though, taken by Accursi. Her back pass there found no one on her team. And the Riveters keep the pressure on. Rebecca Russo fires it in behind her goal. Unfortunately for her linemen's have gone off for a change, assuming Buffalo had cleared the zone. Accursi takes center ice and dumps it into the Riveters' end. Play is called down on a glove pass. 2:11 still to go here in the first period. Shots down 12-8 in favor of Metro. Faceoff will be down here in the Riveters' end. And it's the combination of Jones, Lewicki, and Donahue who come out here, who combined for that first Buffalo goal. It's Courtney Burke for the Riveters, back behind. Ryan chasing after it. Burke. Grusha. Up ahead and gets it back. Alexa Grusha. Far side pass picked up here by Rafter. A little bit of a different combination here for the Riveters, getting Grusha out there with Rafter and Morris. And there is Morris back to the point. Ryan looking for a shooting lane. We got a minute 40 to go here in the first. Burke turns that one on, flutters on, and turned away by Levier. Jones able to do just enough to allow Donahue to get back there and knock it out of the zone. Riveters turn, fire it in, and go off for a full change. Burns in behind her goal. Pass across, taken here, now by Skamura. Turns it around, dumps and chases after it. Still fighting there amongst a sea of red uniforms in behind the Buffalo goal. Elia there as well. Skimura takes it away. Back to the point. Casorso. Now to that one knocked down in the skates of a spinning Haley Skimura, but taken away here by the Riveters as far as the blue line and now out. Ott's pass ahead here picked up by Casorso. Lots of room for Casorso, not afraid to press her offensive abilities. Taken away though by the Riveters. Now Dench knocks it ahead. Trying to get it a little bit farther than that, but turned right back in by Skimura. Lawler spinning with it around here. Colzer, bank pass here to Russo. 35 seconds remaining here in the first period. Dench. Out there at the end of a long shift, being hounded there by the speedy Mie Dench. To his side, they jostle in the corner. Grushow spinning with it. Grushow in behind the Buffalo goal. Lost the handle, chases it to the half wall. Kunachika able to fire it up ahead, and a great effort play to get that one through there to Accursi. Delayed offside. Zop picks it back up. 7 seconds remaining here in the period. Casorso's going to skate it in behind her own goal, kind of content here at the end of a very long shift to kill out the last 5 seconds. Not too much of a press there from Grushow, and we are through 20 minutes of play here at the Harbor Center. Riveters jumping out early to a 2-0 lead, and the Buttes have answered in kind. We are tied at 2-2 here at the end of our first period. Eric, a lot to digest there. Riveters coming out, they've been a very strong starting team this season. They continue to do so again. Just a lot of speed, and the Buttes didn't make a lot of mistakes here defensively, but all you have to do is make one, and the Riveters are content to pounce right on it.
Yeah, but, as you said, getting down 2-0 and then coming back to tie the game, you can't be disappointed about that, and Buffalo continues to outscore their opponent in the first period. Now, tonight is tied, but they already had the advantage so far. And that's something that we're not used to seeing from this Buffalo team. A lot of times it's the first period is their weakest, and they build as they go through the game. Now we're seeing a Buffalo team that's quick out of the gate, getting their scoring early on, and then figuring the rest out later, which I think is an improvement from the last 2 seasons.
Now, the Buttes already have as many goals tonight, 2 in the first period, as they did against Katie Fitzgerald the entire 60 minutes when they played in Rochester 2 weeks ago. What have you seen as key here? Is it just teammates getting more used to playing with each other? Is there something that they're doing differently tonight that's allowed them to have this kind of success in the first period?
Well, every time that Buffalo has scored, it's been a mess down in front of Fitzgerald, and that's definitely what Buffalo needs to do. They need to get bodies down low, make Fitzgerald put the puck back out front, and just be there to bury it. Fitzgerald is obviously the best goaltender in the league right now. 1.3 goals against, which is just unheard of in the National Women's Hockey League, and like we said earlier, .948 save percentage. Just they call them garbage goals, but just clean up the trash, bury that puck, and there's nothing a goalie can do about that when you've got all those bodies down there.
There's 6 or 7 sticks in the crease on that second Buffalo goal, and both of them, as you mentioned, just a bunch of bodies to the front of the net, and who's going to get the last whack at it? And Buffalo will take those goals. I don't think coaches Mooney and Sealing really care if you call them garbage goals. They all count the same.
I call them goals.
Every goal is a goal. Guys, we're going to take a quick breather here. We'll be back here with you once the Zambonis are done and we have some players back out on the ice. You're watching the NWHL on Cross Ice Pass. Just moments away from getting our second period underway. The Buttes are back in the tunnel. Riveters, not quite yet, but we've got about 2 minutes and we'll drop the puck here on period number 2. Speaking of 2, we're tied 2-2 through 20 minutes.
It's a lot of twos.
It's a lot of twos. Surprisingly also, I believe only 2 penalties.
I think that is correct.
Which is saying a lot after how these teams got after each other. And they really shirked away from the physical play. Maybe a little bit more on the cleaner side. No full body checks into the boards, no tearing face masks off through 20 minutes, but a very good back and forth here between these two teams. Both have really had their chances. Metro came out early very strong, getting 2 early goals, really using their defenders well, pressure in front of the goal, deflections, and then the Buttes very much the same, just kind of crashing the net, throwing pucks at the net, and then whacking away until something gets in behind Katie Fitzgerald. And both teams have a lot to build and a lot to be proud of. Not much separating them really through 20 minutes.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny if you think back to the first season when Connecticut went 8-0 and then kind of crashed and burned for the rest of the season, but it was definitely Boston and Connecticut's season that year. And then last year, you know, Buffalo won the championship, but they went into the 3rd seed. They weren't blowing the league away by any means. And New York ended up in last place the previous year and in 2nd place last year. But these are the top 2 teams in the league, and the reason that they are the best so far is they are offensively talented, physically destructive, and defensively sound. And it's just a lot of fun to watch these 2 teams play.
Just about ready to get going here, second period. The Riveters envisioning red with white and black trim will be skating from left to right. Now on your screen, the Buffalo Buttes in their home Arctic camo inspired blue with gray and black jerseys, white numbers and letters will be skating from right to left. Same starters as the first period, and we are underway. Backhanded up ahead here by Burke, rolls along slowly behind Levier in goal. Bruchow chasing after it. First one there for the Ribs. Poked around to catch him, the first of the 2 goal scorers here tonight. For the Riveters, Greco's played off the boards, comes back now ahead where it's picked up by Haley Skimura. Skimura drags it around, throws that one in front, deflected on and just wide. Bruchow crashing hard into Fitzgerald, and that's off its moorings. And Katie Fitzgerald a little bit slow here, back to her feet. It was Kunachika who was knocking at the doorstep, just not quite able to put it on.
Yeah, I'm not saying the Riveters are pulling a Leggio here and kicking the net off every time there's some offensive pressure, but that net has come off a lot so far tonight.
Faceoff will stay down here in the Riveters end, coming up to the left of Katie Fitzgerald. Just the 9th shot on goal here tonight for the Buttes, making the most of their chances. Picard hard in behind her goal, picked up on the near side by Russo. Back around, Picard trying to turn away from Accursi. Up ahead to Brown, turns right back into Accursi, and it's picked up now by Casorso. Backhand pass there by Accursi, looking back for Bowie, but just out of her reach. Russo leaves it behind looking for Colzer. Kelsey Colzer. As there's pass intercepted, deflected off the stick of Accursi and picked out of midair, gloved and held by Fitzgerald.
That's the 2nd time that's happened tonight, 1 for each team, and those lucky, unlucky bounces might end up behind them one of these times.
So we'll stay down here again. First minute of the period, really solid possession time for Buffalo. Now trying to turn that possession time here into chances at the goal. That will officially, at least for now, on the board count as a shot. Their 10th of the evening. Face-off one there by the Buttes, looking to keep the pressure on. Casorso's shot from the point is off the crest of the jersey of Katie Fitzgerald, who will cover up here for a face-off.
And that's a nice play on the face-off to get that puck back to Casorso. She's going to put that shot on, but somebody's got to be in front. Fitzgerald saw it the whole way and just swallowed it up.
Face-off stays here to the left of Fitzgerald, won cleanly again, back to Casorso. Her shot blocked. Second whack, and able to keep it in, at least for now. Dosdell turning with it, trying to turn away from Skimura. Up ahead to Johnston. Johnston will float that one up in the air and is able to finally clear the Riveters zone. Jordan Ott all the way back into her own end. Her pass ahead deflected by Grushow. 5-4 at the Buffalo blue line. Elia across. Casorso puts on the brakes and leaves it ahead here for Jordan Ott. Tried to turn around, but it's taken away back the other way by Mie Dench. Dench across, finds Ketchum, turns on, save made. A sliding block there by Haley Skimura. Elia knocks that one ahead. Johnston pinching down, looking to keep it in, fighting with Kunachika, and does so. Ketchum turning with it right into a blue jersey. Penalty forthcoming here to the Riveters as Elia goes down. Casorso walks in, winds it, fires high shot onto Fitzgerald. Is caught and held for a face-off, and for the first time tonight, the Buffalo Buttes will go to the power play.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an interesting play. Casorso took a slash high on the wrist, right below where the elbow pad would cover, and she seems to be favoring that arm a little bit. It might be why she let that shot go, just to get herself off the ice. That's definitely not what you want to do when you just picked up the man advantage, but she's really holding her arm still on the bench now.
So a dangerous combination out there up front for Buffalo. It's Vint, Bowie, and Accursi. And Taylor Accursi, in the large part due to her efforts with the power plays this season, has 5 goals through 3 games. And that puck that was fired there by Russo caught Chesson up high, and she is feeling the after effects of that one. Caught her up in the shoulder area.
Yeah, I think it got under her arm, just on the ribs, where your shoulder pads don't necessarily cover. This is an unfortunate series of events for Buffalo right now.
And Russo was just trying to fire it harder on the boards and get it out. Chesson doing everything she could to keep it in, and ends up deflecting at the Buffalo bench, bringing that face off. And the Riveters off that face off will pick it up and fire it back down where it's turned over here near side for Buffalo to Bowie. Leaves it up ahead for Taylor Accursi. And taken away by Russo. Riveters collect. Ryan's pass ahead. Lawler banks it ahead to Russo, who will turn and scoop it off the glass all the way back down. And this first penalty kill unit for the Riveters will take a much-deserved breather.
Yeah, Buffalo's trying to score on the rush here, and they do better on the power play when they get set up in the zone. So hopefully they spend the next couple of seconds getting ready to do that.
Here comes Corin. Bowie full head of steam, turns that one on to Fitzgerald, fights it off and covers up for a face-off.
And again, we see a shot go in on Fitzgerald, unscreened. Nobody in front to pick up a possible rebound. That's definitely not what Buffalo wants to do here.
So a new second power play unit tonight with the changes in available players for Buffalo, with Jones coming back. She's out there up front with Donahue. And there's Ott over there. Lewicki creeping backdoor pass. Had put it on her backhand. She couldn't turn around in time. Had Fitzgerald beat, but it was just out of her reach. Lewicki. Back down low. Caught at the near side here by Donahue. Back to Lewicki. And Donahue. Jones back to Donahue. Her shot blocked and fired back down the ice by Kelsey Colzer. Levier leaves it back behind. Casorso skating back. Skating a little bit better now after that breather. Taking back the other way. Lewicki using her speed to take it all the way in behind the Riveters goal. 30 seconds of power play time remaining. Jones back to Casorso. Near side to Ott. Leaves it there for Lewicki. Lewicki. Casorso fires that one through a rocket. Hits off the boards in behind Fitzgerald. The Riveters pick it up and knock it back the other way. Casorso tried to knock it down and hopped over her stick. And Harrison Brown is right there on her tail. Able to knock it away. Lawler there as well. And the Riveters doing a good job killing some time there. Just an effort play by Harrison Brown. No surprise to people who have watched him play in Buffalo these last 2 seasons. Kamara's shot blocked up over the net as the Riveters return to full strength. Grushow with some room at center ice. Alexa Grushow cutting on her backhand. Got a shot off after all. It's turned away by Levy. It looked like Burns had played her basically perfectly, but still Grushow able to get a shot off at the end of that there. Burns ahead, Kunachika trying to get around Dosdell. No such luck, but Skamura there to follow up and knock it into the Riveters' end. Ryan back there for Metro. Banks away from Burke and picked up here by Mie Dench. Back to Burke. Burke walks it in. Her shot partially blocked, deflected away by Elia. Ryan walking the line. Her shot through traffic, deflected there by Dench up over the goal. Backhand play off the side of the cage, and Levy is actually going to pin that one there and hold on for a face-off with the Riveters swarming. 15:06 remaining here in our second period. We remain tied at 2 aside. Both teams having some limited chances here in the period, but so far more defense than offense to speak of here in the first 5 minutes of period number 2.
Yeah, and good solid defense. Everything is kind of coming from the outside. No screenshots getting through for either team. And aside from that last play by Grushow getting that shot on at the end, defenses are doing a really good job so far.
Puck off the glass in behind the Buttes goal, picked up by Russo. Turning with it back to Brown. He has it taken away. Just keeping the pressure on. Ryan trying to pinch down the pinballs off of Kersey all the way back down, where Courtney Burke is chasing after it in behind the Riveters goal line. Ahead to Brown. His pass ahead now to Russo. Russo cuts inside to the slot. Back to the point. Burke Back down below the goal line. Russo trying to get around Greco. No such luck. And the Buttes punch it back out to center ice. Fired right back in by Burke, all the way back behind the Buffalo goal line. Riveters getting a change. Buffalo trying to alleviate some of this pressure. Brown still out there at the end of a long shift, keeping the pressure on. Far side kept in by Picard. Vint turning with it, trying to get away from Rafter, and can't. Taken away by Rafter. Back to the point. Picard's shot is blocked down high off of Rebecca Vint. A Kersey pass the other way. Bowie shot. That one's blocked off the stick of Lawler into the corner. Colzer spinning away in behind her own goal. Pass ahead here to Morris. Casorso's bank pass, able to just leak by Rafter back out to neutral ice. Floated right back in though by Colzer. Good couple minutes of pressure here for the Riveters. Casorso pass high off a stick, kept in play, looking back the other way and just out of the reach of its intended target, Lewicki. Gosdell leaves it there for Johnston. Up ahead, Dench chasing after it with some room ahead of her. Dench around to Grushow, tips it into the corner, going around Ott. Grushow up there from Ketchum as well. Ott doing a great job keeping Grushow away from the puck as much as possible. Lewicki there as well, and Grushow emerges from the corner with it. Backhand played off the side of the cage, and the Buttes pick it back up. The stick handling in a phone booth there in the corner by Alexa Grushow, creating space out of just a swarm of blue. That puck floats in front. It looked like it was behind Levier for a second. She sprawls back, did not know where that was, and ultimately the puck is tucked under her. And we have a face-off. And Eric, you mentioned that a couple of moments ago. One of those pucks in the corner that is kind of caught off a stick, floats into the crease, and that one almost turned out to be disastrous for the Buffalo defense.
Yeah, and like I said earlier as well, you know, Levier looks like she's put herself out of position to make the save, but she's always getting back, and just an incredible diving save to get back across the crease and cover that puck.
Lawler's shot blocked down in the slot there by Maddie Ely. And behind the Buttes goal, knocked around by Burns. Lawler there, spinning with it. Couldn't keep the handle as Chesson picks it back up. And I believe they're actually going to draw a penalty in the process. Say Lawler had some assistance in losing her footing, and Lisa Chesson will likely be the penalized player. Or not. They're going to call something else entirely. I stand corrected. It is Maddie Elia who is skating off for a hooking call. Riveters 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. They go to the power play for the second time now in a 2-2 contest. Yeah, and
a little bit of a tired first unit resulted in Buffalo's first goal, so we'll see if Buffalo can take advantage of the same type of thing here.
Grushow face-off win back now to the point where it's picked up by Ryan. Russo fires it back in behind the goal, knocked around by Chesson. Burns chasing after it, but a good job recovering there by Grushow to keep the pressure on. Ryan across to Burke, bank pass to Russo. Thought about the shot, plays it back to Burke. Her shot through traffic. Hits hard off the boards in behind Amanda Levier. Russo. Back to Burke, shot through, pad save Levier. Grushow had a chance at it in the slot for a second, but it's picked up and dragged through, and a great sense of awareness there by the former silver medalist Lisa Chesson to throw it right back down the ice.
There's definitely a difference in this Buffalo team when she's able to get back out there, and it's great to see that she made the trip again today.
Also, former silver medalist is incorrect. She's always a silver medalist. They won't take it away from her.
It's not yet so far.
Ryan in behind the Buffalo goal. Dench picks this pass up, back from Russo. Tried to throw that one back to the point. Somehow Courtney Burke with a great sliding keep at the first chance, but just too much pressure there as Skimura knocks it back down the ice. 53 seconds of power play time remaining. Kudachika able to pick that one up, throws it back through the crease to kill a couple seconds. Skimura pressuring there as well. Comes loose now to Ketchum. Stretch pass, kick down, skating through center ice. Here's Erica Lawler spinning with it. Lost her footing. Here's a quick chance back the other way with Skimura winding and firing low. Shot wide of goal. Ping to the wall there by Jones, and the Buttes killing even more time here now. Just 25 seconds remaining. Jones surrounded by 3 Riveters players, able to keep this puck pinned to the Lenovo pizza sign in front of the Buffalo bench.
How strong is Jess Jones? 30 seconds killed right there, just freezing that puck. And like you said, 3 Riveters surrounding her, couldn't budge.
Kelsey Colzer back the other way for the Riveters, running out of time here with this power play advantage. Now just 2 seconds. Elia standing at the box. She's back into the play. And man, that pass got away from Kunachika. Brown turns it on. His shot is saved by Levier, who holds on, no rebound on what turned out to be a quick 4-on-1 for the Riveters. A stretch pass. Looked like Kunachika had her head up looking to try to spring Elia out of the box, but the puck got away. And thankfully for her, Amanda Levier rises to the occasion.
And if it had gone the other way, it would have been the exact opposite. 4-on-0 on Fitzgerald as the Buttes had vacated the zone. But lucky that Greco was back and aware, and Lev was high on top of the crease in anticipation of that shot.
After the Buttes had drawn basically even in shots on goal, the Riveters now have the last 5 efforts at goal. There's another one. That one through traffic and hard to see, but Levier able to track it and turns it away with her left pad. Dostal shot through traffic, deflected on loose in the crease. That great job by Casorso getting across to deny catch-up. Ott punches it back down below the goal line. Riveters feeling confident here. Last couple of minutes have really bolstered their offensive spirits. Buffalo looking for an answer. Here's Haley Skimura. Her pass in front looking for Kunachika. Taken out of the play. Elia knocks it back to the point. Walking the line is Casorso. Fires it back into the corner. Elia chasing after it. Spins that pass off the back of the net. Kunachika looking for something to do with it. Couldn't quite find anyone to give it away to, and the Riveters quickly back the other way. Grushow, near side pass to Mie Dench. Dench fires that one patted away by Levier. Morse. Bang pass behind the Buffalo goal. Looking back to the point, picked up by Picard. Picard walks it down the wall. Her pass behind the goal, deflects high into the air, and is caught slightly above the crossbar, I believe, by Amanda Levier, who did not like where that puck was floating to.
Yeah, and if we could just go back about 30 seconds ago to an odd no call. When the Buttes had the rush, Skimura plays it out front, Kunachika, who just gets laid out in front of the net. The defenseman is not making a play on the puck. That's definitely interference, and I'm kind of surprised that we didn't get a call there.
But given these teams' history, it's amazing that we've had only 3 penalties called so far this evening. For the most part, that's been a pretty clean game. I mean, anything less clean compared to the first time this team's played. So. Back the other way. Riveters defensive zone play made here by Erica Lawler. Stick handles it out of her own possession, but is picked up here by Russo. Back pass to center ice, picked up by the Buttes. Kersey turning with it, turns and fires it in behind the Riveters goal. Fitzgerald slows it down, picked up by Colzer. Knocked down, Lawler leaves it. Picked up by Russo. Left back for Picard. Turns it up the wall. Burns chasing after it, knocks it down into the skates of Vint, who couldn't find the handle. Lawler up ahead the other way now, it's Russo. Scoops it around, Burns. Chesson first back there for Buffalo. There's great long strides of Lisa Chesson, creating some space all the way back down to the Riveters' end. Chesson below the goal line, still fighting off a check. Turned back the other way now. Here's her. Her fires on pad save, Levier, rebound chance, scoots away. It was Morse on the back door who wanted a chance at it, but couldn't quite find the handle on the bouncing puck. Back the other way now, Buffalo. That shot fired from a bad angle by Jones, away from everyone. Her. Pass back ahead here. Morse tried to drag it inside, had it taken away. Kept in, though, by Rafter for Metropolitan. Jostled in front of the Riveters bench, picked back up by Greco, pitchfork behind the Buffalo goal with just 7.5 minutes remaining here. End-to-end action here again in our second period. Elia, good job defending her blue line there, forcing the Riveters back into their own end, where Dench will collect across to Johnston. Picked up ahead by Grushow, goes wide on Greco, chasing after it into the corner. Grushow. Bad angle shot off the side of the net. I don't know if that actually caught off of Levier. And picked up here by the Buttes. Jess Jones. Backhands it into the Riveters zone. Elia chasing after it. Dosdell back there. Plays it behind her own goal to Johnston. Dosdell one more time. Leads that pass ahead. Grushow fires a pass up ahead that is off the stick of its intended target, Ketchup. And now Skimura back the other way. 2-on-2. It's Rebecca Vince. Vint, that one floats a backhander on to Fitzgerald, who will take no chances and hold on for a face-off with 6:36 to go here on our second period.
Yeah, nothing short of a fast-moving period. Both defenses, as we mentioned earlier, playing solid hockey, and the forwards doing the best that they can to counteract that solid defense. But, you know, nothing going so far. Just a couple shots on goal for each side.
Face-off one here in the offensive zone by the Buttes. Had her legs taken off from under her there by Harrison Brown, who is disappointed with the call, but the referee's arm will go off, and Harrison Brown will take his turn in the penalty box and sit for 2 or less. Not much to contest, I don't think, on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it may not have been totally on purpose, but if your stick is between someone's legs and they fall over top of that, that's pretty much textbook definition of a trip.
Ref's almost always going to give that call for the player that falls in that case. Buttes go to their second power play of the night. They're 0 for 1. Looking to find something to crack through this 2-2 time we've had here for a full period of action now. Riveters pinning that puck to the wall there in the corner. Taking a page out of Justice Jones' playbook. Jostling there. There's now 4 Riveters down below the goal line. Some shoving in the corner. The Buttes were not happy that there wasn't a whistle, I don't think. I believe the intent of the rule is you have to be making an effort to play the puck away. You can't just take your stick and throw your body to it and pin it to the wall. And after about 20 seconds of that, we do have a whistle.
Yeah, that's got to be exhausting.
So 6:08 remaining here in our second period. Minute 38 remaining on the Buttes power play. We'll try this whole face-off business again to the right of Fitzgerald. It's won back by the Riveters. Ryan. Head up, fires it all the way down the ice. That one will roll slowly onto Levier. Leaves it back behind for Casorso, who in turn leaves it there for Haley Skimura. Casorso. Pass deflected. Kudachika tried to pick it up, but it's taken away by Grushow. Fired off the Riveters bench door, took a weird bounce. It's picked up now by Buffalo. I think Grushow thought he for sure was going to be able to get that one down the ice, but it caught off the door. Kind of came off awkwardly off the hinge. Casorso takes it into the Riveters zone. They look to set up here. 50 seconds still on this power play. Taken away, though, by Ryan. Punch to the half wall. It's picked up, chased after, colliding there. Elia colliding with Grushow. Burke picks it back up. Down low to Ryan. A lot of open ice in front of Jenny Ryan, who will turn and fire it back down the ice.
This is a textbook effective penalty kill by Metro right here.
Skimura contested there by Russo, had to turn back behind her own goal. Now just 25 seconds remaining here on the power play. It's picked up by Lewicki. Up ahead, Taylor Acursi. Acursi tries to drag in his side, had to take it off of her stick there. Nicely played by Picard. Picard gets it back and whacks it back the other way. There's a lot of empty ice in front of Rebecca Russo. Cutting into the slot, fires, pad save made by Levier. There's great awareness there by Michelle Picard to note where the forward getting out of the zone was, and pretty decent chance there 1-on-2 for Russo, able to create some space. After all of that, the Riveters are back to full strength. No shots on the power play for Buffalo. There's Harrison Brown back on the ice. Gonna leave it for Dents, but it's taken away, floated back up in the air and back to center ice. Love down by Ryan. Her pass looking back for Brown is intercepted, played back to Vint. Vint leaves it. Acursi knocks it into the corner. And he goes charging down after it. And he looking in front for Vint. And that pass got deflected on its way, and Vint had some room if she was able to get that puck to her stick. Back the other way come the Riveters. Fired on by Ryan. Low blocker side shot. She scores.
That was a great call by Ryan. You could hear her yelling 3-3-3, letting the charging forward know that they had numbers going into the zone, and there was just nobody there to cover Ryan, who puts the puck far post. Levier kind of got some traffic in front of her right before the shot came through and wasn't able to see it fully and get that leg out to make the save.
It was a quick 3-on-2 rush at the end of a long shift, and it was Harrison Brown who was trapped out there. Well, I mean, he hasn't been back to the bench now for about 6 minutes of action between the long shifts, taking a penalty, and then being out there for another couple minutes after he got back into the play. And it is Jenny Ryan who scores to break the tie. It's 3-2 Riveters here with 3:52 remaining in our second period. Face-off one back here by the Riveters. Played up ahead now to Alexa Grushow. Tried to drag it to a couple of Buttes players, no such luck. Elias pass deflects high in the air, picked up by Skimura. Haley Skamura, full head of steam, cuts into the slot, fires, and she scores! There's an answer for you from this combination. Striking again, it's Haley Skamura, and I don't know if you can put that shot in a better place. We are tied again. It's 3-3.
And this is just a fist-pumping scorer's goal. Nothing short of that. You know, she took the puck at the blue line, brought it all the way through the entire Riveters lineup, and just buried it behind Fitzgerald. She didn't even have a screen. She didn't need one. She sniped that shot to tie this game for the Buffalo Beauts.
That is a coach's dream, putting out the exact combination after a goal that quickly responds and answers in kind. It is Haley Skamura who finds the back of the net, and just as quickly as the Riveters had jumped ahead, Buffalo has drawn us back even with just under 3.5 to go here in the second period. The Dench's pass knocked down to the point and fired into the corner there by Michelle Picard. Brown chasing after it. He didn't get his stick on it, and now a Kersey punches it up ahead and goes streaming after it here, near side for Buffalo. Picard, first one back there for the Riveters. Fired hard and low around the boards, tipped ahead by Brown, but picked up a neutral ice there, right back by Vint. Burns across to Chesson. He takes center ice, turns and dumps it right back in below the Riveters' goal line. Slow by Fitzgerald for Picard. Backhand pass near side picked up by Russo. Russo across, back to Picard. She'll skate it up ahead through center ice. Takes center ice, turns and dumps it in. She'll go off for a change as Levia slows that one down there for Sarah Casorso. Casorso up ahead. And the Buttes come quickly back the other way. Donahue looking back for Jones, but read the whole way there by Johnston. The Riveters turn it quickly back the other way. Strong on her stick, dragging through his Morse. And Casorso did just enough there to interrupt her stride and knock her off the puck. Morris looking back for Johnston, but just out of the reach of, if it's out of Johnston's reach, it's out of basically everyone's reach. All the way back down the ice.
Yeah, she could pretty much cross that blue line in a stride.
Rafter turning with it back in neutral ice. Able to win it up ahead there to her. Fired back in. Edney below her own goal line with under 2 minutes to go here in our second period. Edney ahead to Donahue. Looking to play it back to Edney. Picks it up ahead to Ott. Intercepted in neutral ice there by Dench. Mie Dench across to Grushow, trying to pick that same spot. Low blocker side and did not miss by much. Jones backhands it into the air all the way down below the Riveters' goal line. They go off for a change with 90 seconds remaining here in our second period. Burke back behind to Ryan. Deflected, glove down here by Elia, who just got the primary assist there on that Skamura goal. Those two high school teammates connecting here now in the pros. Dench had it taken away, knocked back ahead, but picked off right all the way by Grushow. Alexa Grushow, and a good job getting back there by Jackie Greco after the original turnover. But the Riveters keep the pressure on Kelsey. Colzer winds and fires, deflected off the stick of Dench in front and wide. Under a minute to go here in the second period. High off the glass, glove down play kept on side by Colzer, and a great second effort there for the Buttes. Able to take it back the other way. Here's Skamura. She'll take another whack at it. That one off the pad of Fitzgerald. An uncharacteristic rebound laid there for a second, but cleaned up in front by Colzer. Buttes keep the pressure on here. Chesson. Tied up in the corner there by Picard. Riveters come free with it. Lawler works it ahead to Russo, who backhands it back to center ice. Backhanded up ahead, chased after by a Kersey. Gloved down by Colzer, fired to the point, kept in one more time by Vince. 15 seconds remaining here in our second period. Utes looking for one last whack at it offensively. Riveters look to be content to kind of wind this one out. Colzer takes her time, fires that pass, gloved down by Harrison Brown at center ice. Ends up falling on the puck a little bit there. Knocks it around. And with that, we are through 40 minutes of play here at Harbor Center. We have solved very little, if anything, here in this game. We're tied at 3, and both of these teams have not given an inch. Just a great back-and-forth contest here. You have to wonder, Eric, if there's anything that has really separated these two teams. They both had their chances. Good goaltending at both ends, good defense at both ends, some great shooting at both ends. And they're really showing why these are the top two teams currently in the NWHL. Yeah,
and I think you mentioned right before the period how they're playing to the edge, not necessarily over the edge, which is great. You know, it's some decent physical hockey, but we're also seeing some explosive offensive play, and just, as you stated, very even. When you take the officials out of the equation, these two teams are evenly matched, and I expect it to kind of be this way for the rest of the season unless Boston somehow manages to find its stride.
We talked a little bit before the game off air and then during some breaks about the changing lines here a little bit for Buffalo tonight, with Jess Jones coming back from her suspension, trying to find the right combination of players to get this goal scoring going. Outside of Accursi's 5 goals, some players have really struggled to get on the score sheet. Here tonight now, Buffalo had 3 players getting their first goal of the season. So you got to feel that the coaching staff really likes what they've seen out of some players who weren't really filling up the stat sheet for the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, and that's something that they really have talked about since before the season even started, how they considered one of their biggest weaknesses over these last 2 seasons depth. They felt that they didn't have a lot of depth. They had a lot of players who could play very well, but only depended on the top 2 lines too much. So now, we're seeing a lot more even play. The 3 lines are getting pretty much equal ice time. And as we can see, no matter really who is on the ice, they can score. These, 3 goals by Buffalo is nothing shy of a good first 2 periods. And if they can get 2 more going here, that'll be 5 goals a game for this team almost. That's, pretty good.
And one way or the other, we're not done filling up the scoreboard here tonight. Some team will have to get at least a 4th, whether it's in a shootout, it's overtime, or whatever happens here in period number 3 to break this tie, as we have our old favorite game of Chuck a Puck in the background. We're going to take a quick breather here, guys. We'll be back here with you for what promises to be an exciting 3rd period. You are watching the NWHL here on Cross Ice Pass. just moments away here now from third period action here at Arbor Center. We have 20 more minutes, if not more, of action awaiting you in what has been a great back-and-forth contest. We are tied at 3 through 40 minutes of play. Jeff Boyd alongside Eric Walschlager up here at our broadcast table booth thing with you. Our broadcast standing
shelf
position at center ice. The broadcast shelf undersells it a little bit, but it's also not really. It's whatever. You can't see us, so it's irrelevant for me to point out the finer details of our broadcast setup. But we are now just moments away, about a minute or so, from third period action. Shots through 40 minutes, 25 for the Riveters, 15 for the Buttes. And there's going to be more offense here in this game. Someone will have to crack through this tie again, because through 40 minutes, we've solved basically nothing. These teams have been back and forth, even throughout.
Yeah, even goals, even penalties. The only thing that really stands out off of anything particular is the shots on goal are quite a bit to the Riveters' advantage, and Buffaloes definitely want to catch up in that aspect. But again, it's not just shots on goal, it's getting traffic to the net, which is how Buffalo scored their first 2 goals. That Skamara snipe aside, it's really how you score on Fitzgerald.
Teams coming out here for the face-off to start the third period. Just to reset you here on the broadcast, the visiting Riveters in their red uniforms, white and black trim, white numbers and letters will be skating from right to left. And the Buffalo Buttes in their military appreciation night, Arctic camo blue and gray with white numbers and letters skating from left to right.
I got to be honest, I love that field of black stars on the shoulders. That's just really gorgeous.
Nice. Same starters in goal. Buttes going up front now with Elia, Kunachika, and Skamara to start the period against the combination of Grushow, Ketchum, and V.A. Dench. Up front for the Riveters, Burke and Ryan on the back end across from Greco and Edney for the Buttes. We are underway for third period action. Hold on to your hats. Ketchum knocks it in, backhand in behind the Buffalo goal. Jackie Greco off the wall ahead, picked up by Skamara, flutters it up ahead, punched ahead now by Elia, only as far as Burke. Ketchum back into the Buffalo zone, Dench chasing after it. Jostles there with Edney, picks it back up. Mie Dench trying to turn it away, gets it around there to Grushow, where it's picked up and taken back the other way by Haley Skamara. Skamara turning with it, backhand off behind the Riveters goal, picked back up and scooped ahead here by Metropolitan. Grushow leaves it back behind for Jenny Ryan. High off the glass, knocked down at center ice and fired right back in there by Taylor Acursi. Fitzgerald leaves it for Ryan. Ryan contested there, and it's taken away now by Bowie off a great play from Vince. Bowie goes down with that collision from Burke, allowing Ryan to pick it back up, but Bowie not going to be denied there. Keeps jostling after it. Buttes keep the pressure on. Ott's pass ahead floats through. I think Vin expected a slap shot and got a changeup. It slides right through all the way down to the Riveters defenders who clear it and fire it down the ice. Casorso challenged in front there by Brown. Leaves it for Ott and picks it back up. Casorso, again Brown there. And now Lawler takes it away for the Riveters. Good job getting back there by Ott. A lot of bodies in behind the Buttes goal. A lot of merges with the puck, fires off the boards, but it's kept in there by Kelsey Colzer. At the half well, Brown knocks it down back to the point. That shot, slap pass there by Picard into the corner. And the head official ducking out of the way. Kicked down and kept in again there by Picard off a challenge there from Bowie. And now Russo spinning with it away from a diving Rebecca Vint. Russo back up high to Lawler, and had it taken away. A good job getting back there by Vint, and now finally Vint and Bowie will combine to knock it back down to the Riveters end. Johnston back to center ice, turned right back in there by Donahue. Her first NWHL goal coming in the first period, the first of 3 here tonight for the Buttes. Donahue, Lewicki got grabbed a little bit there by Johnston. Referee says play on. Lewicki had the significant size disadvantage in that matchup to begin with, let alone when Johnston's getting a little bit grabby there. And the Riveters clear.
Yeah, I mean, Johnston was able to cleanly get her arm around Lewicki and not really make much contact, so I can't disagree with the official there.
Loose in the slot, picked back up by Lisa Chesson. Puts on the brakes in behind the Buffalo goal and fires it up out here near side off the stick of Donahue. Picked back up by her off the sticks though of Lewicki, who punches it ahead and walks in. Lewicki shot on forehand. Chance turned away by Katie Fitzgerald. And the speed of Kristen Lewicki creating chances again, and this time the Riveters goaltender just a little bit better.
Yeah, I think she'd like to have that one back. One more move than she wanted to make, and Fitzgerald was able to stick with her the entire time. So great job by Fitzy to keep the Rivs in this game. And, man, that whole time going down the ice, you thought Lewicki was going to bury that puck.
Didn't seem like she was skating all that hard, but suddenly you look up and she's 3 steps behind the next closest Riveter. There's tons of speed and really created some goals and some chances here these last couple of weeks here at Harbor Center for her teammates just by beating the other team down the ice. It's as simple as that sometimes. Grushow knocks it back to the corner, picked up back to the point now by Jenny Ryan. Ryan back to Burke. Slap pass down low, read by Skamura, but deflected and kept in here by the Riveters. Ryan shot through traffic is patted away by Levier. Head up pass taken here now by Courtney Kunachika. Trying to bank it around Burke. No such luck. A great follow-up by Elia. Will knock it back in here to the Riveters end. Jenny Ryan leaves it for Grushow. Alexa Grushow skating up ahead. Pass on the far side to Burke. Burke works it into the slot. Her shot, low sliding shot. Second whack at it off of Levier and in. Levier trying to recover off a shot that just missed low, and Grushow from a basically impossible angle banks it in off of Levier, and the Riveters have taken a 4-3 lead.
Second time tonight that Grushow has been out all alone on that back door. You have to be much more aware of her and where she is on the ice. I'm sorry, that wasn't her that scored the first goal. It was Ketchum. But again, Buffalo allowing that back door to be wide open. You can't blame Levier for that. She was in position to make the initial save, and the defenseman has to be there to tie up a stick.
It's the second of the night for Alexa Grushow, now 4 in just over 5 periods against the Buttes this season, and a big one here as the Riveters have taken a 4-3 lead. It's the first game of their 4 this season that they were not having defending a multi-goal lead after 2 periods. So a good start there, not feeling discouraged there offensively for the Riveters. Brown and Bowie collide. Puck comes loose to Casorso, back here to Corinne Bowie. Drags it up ahead. The Buttes captain trying to cut back into the slot, taken away by Lawler. Casorso winds and fires. That one caught off of a sliding Lawler who hadn't got back to her feet and ended up being directly in the middle of Casorso's shooting lane. Jordan Ott. Pass ahead, back to Casorso and back to Ott. And the one-man forecheck from Harrison Brown giving them all sorts of problems.
We're familiar with that.
Up ahead here, Vince floats that one caught up there by Fitzgerald, who thought about throwing it there down for Dosdell, but will instead hold on for a face-off with 15-11 remaining here in our third period.
And we've seen a little bit of a shift in the lines once again with Jess Jones joining Rebecca Vint and Corinne Bowie. A line that kind of formed at the beginning of the season and was broken up here tonight, but I think the coaches are trying to develop a little bit more chemistry.
Lewicki in front, Donahue with a whack at it, couldn't get there. Puck was loose for a second as well for a Kersey, and a sprawling effort there by Katie Fitzgerald. She has the puck and will hold on. And some danger there. It's a new combination out there. Talk about speed. You got Donahue out there with Lewicki and a Kersey, and just right off that faceoff causing havoc for the Riveters defenders. Faceoff will stay down here in the Metropolitan end to the left of Katie Fitzgerald in goal. One back by the Riveters, tied up there. Burke trying to play it back to Ryan, taken away by Donahue. A Kersey spinning with it loose in the slot. Second whack at it for Lewicki. It got away from her just enough. And the Riveters defensively able to collect. Back the other way, here comes Harrison Brown. Brown fires that one on. Standing save made by Levier, who again lets discretion be the better part of valor and holds on there for a faceoff.
And for the second shift in a row, Courtney Burke has been the part of an important rush by the Riveters. You know, she gets the assist on the goal from Grushow, and then again there, joining Harrison Brown on the rush and getting a good chance on goal. You know, such an amazing player and really a great pickup by the Riveters last season.
Fired around by Edney, back to Kunachika, just out of the reach of Elia, and picked back up the other way now by Jenny Ryan. Speaking of, there's Courtney Burke, back ahead to Ryan. Ryan's pass around blocked by Edney, played off the side of the net, and Levier again covering up there and not taking any chances here. With 14:28 remaining, we'll have another face-off forthcoming. So the Buttes came out here strong in the first couple of minutes, getting some chances. The Riveters have answered strongly here, and their 4-3 lead. Their third time coming out here on top on the scoreboard so far this evening. But every time prior, the Buttes have answered. Does this Buffalo team have more answers in them? And if so, they're going to have to get them past statistically the best goaltender in the league, so no easy task. They've risen to the challenge here tonight so far. Dench drags it through. Pad save made by Levier. Loose near side. Dossel shot through traffic. Is blocked down in front and taken away by the Buttes. Stretch pass. Maddie Elia chasing after it, but it's read well. And a great job getting back there by Dosdell. Jostled for at the blue line. Edney turning with it, trying to get away from Ketchum, but can't. And Ketchum takes it back the other way now for the Riveters, trying to lead that one around for Dench, and a big pad save made there with the right leg of Levier. Dench collides and slides through the post for a face-off.
Yeah, the Riveters aren't falling back into a shell and sitting on this 4-3 lead. That Dench was hovering the Buffalo blue line, calling for a pass when the puck entered the Riveters zone. So they're going to keep pressing and extend their lead. They're going to make it really difficult for Buffalo to come back tonight.
Colzer walks up into one that's blocked by Jones. Just walked right into it off the face-off, and Jones doing a good aggressive job. They're getting in the shooting lane. Here's Picard. Their shot through traffic, low and wide. In behind the Buffalo goal, came out into the slot when Levier still turned around. The net's off its moorings, and now as puck comes back out to center ice, we have a whistle. It's the same post that was just off a second ago. Wonder if it ever got fully set back in. Didn't look like much of a bump there that time. And the referees appear to be giving the old, we know and you know kind of talk there to Amanda Levier about the fact that so many posts have come off their moorings here tonight.
You know, it's been that same net, though. I just don't think that the pegs are frozen hard enough into the surface.
Colzer winds and fires shot from the point, sticked away by Levier. Her 30th save of the evening as the Riveters have now doubled up the Buttes in shots on goal. Jess Jones trying to get it out and does just enough to do so. That one got away from Bowie, though, and fired right back in by the Riveters. Jessup leaves it back behind for Bowie. Corinne Bowie, her pass to the blue line, intercepted by Dench, tried to knock it back down low to Rafter, and a good job getting back by Bowie to take it away. Chip right back in there by Morris. Played around behind the goal, Burns to Jessup. Contested by Dench, but able to get it back out to neutral ice. Jenny Ryan without a stick. Able to do enough.
Nope. It was Vint who was without a stick, who had a hold of Jenny Ryan's stick. I think she was trying to take it from her and play with it.
Well, if that wasn't Vint's stick, she had at least one hand up on top of it. Regardless, the Riveters now take it back the other way. Rafter looking for some room to work with, but can't. Back the other way. Here comes a Kersey. Her pass looking for Donahue, but out of her reach. Kept in by Buffalo. Kersey knocks it back down low. The Wiki comes loose with it in the slot. Quick riser up over the crossbar and out of play, deflected. And I believe the face is going to stay down here as a result.
This is my obligatory mention of how amazing Lewicki is with the puck. She can make it disappear and reappear before anybody else knows what's happening, and almost put it behind Fitzgerald on that steal from Johnston.
And rather a kind of innocent-looking rush there with Donahue and Kersey having a hard time connecting turns into a great chance there for Buffalo. Casorso looking for a shooting lane, gets it across there to Edney, shot through traffic, deflected. Off to the near side half wall. Russo. Backhand away, Elia. Down low, Kunachika streaking and turned away by Fitzgerald. Second whack at it. Slides away from Skamura. Catch him back the other way to Russo, chasing after it. Casorso chasing after it as well, and she is the first one there for an icing call. That was not far behind center ice when it was punched ahead by Russo.
Yeah, I don't think anybody out there thought it was even close to icing. There was a group of 4 players that were right near that puck, and thankfully for Buffalo, Casorso was the first one back.
Yeah, Casorso was just coming across to try to take Russo into the corner and slow down the play a little bit. And I think she was as surprised as anyone when the whistle blew with no one having possession. 11:34 remaining here in our third period. The Riveters have, well, the referee certainly signaled like they were taking their time out. They are not. We'll try this face-off then. Tied up and one ahead here by the Buttes. Skamura. Bang pass down low below the goal line. Courtney Kunachika tried to float that one back to Skamura. Couldn't quite get her in front, but Skamura does have the puck here. Looking back down low for Kunachika, trying to get away from Johnston. Elia's there as well, and the Riveters do a great job of collapsing defensively. Take that one away to the blue line. Not on the first whack, but now Johnston's backhand pass will get them out of their zone. Cheston's pass up ahead picked up by Elia. but can only get so far as the blue line, where it's taken by Picard. Fresh off the bench, Jess Jones floats one onto Fitzgerald. Kicked off her right pad into the corner. Holzer off of Fitzgerald, who was working back the other way, and the Buttes pick it back up. Bowie trying to turn away from Brown. Teammates last season jostling in the corner. From a bad angle, shot fired on and turned away by Fitzgerald, and a collision there on the far side with one of the Riveters defenders and Fitzgerald, and the net has come off its moorings.
Would you believe the net has come off its moorings?
I feel like I've said that sentence more. Like, you ever say something so much that it starts to feel weird to say and you question your pronunciation? I said the word moorings so many times here tonight that I'm starting to wonder if I'm saying it right at all. We have 10:40 remaining here in our third period. The Riveters holding on to a 4-3 lead. And I just have the sneaking suspicion we haven't seen the last of the goals here this evening. Picard. Backhand down below the goal line, picked up there by Kelsey Colzer. Up ahead to Lawler. Brown punches it through, and a good job getting back there by Edney. She plays it up ahead here to Vint. Just out of the reach, though, with Vint. And Brown back the other way quickly for the Riveters. Good job by Edney, wins it around to Jones. Now back to Casorso, and back up ahead here to Jess Jones. Possession through center ice, leaves it in front of Vint, who had no idea that pass was coming, but able to skate into it. Bumped out there by Ryan, loose in the slot for Bowie, and that one slides to the crease wide. Back behind the Riveters goal one more time, it's Jenny Ryan. Up ahead to Russo. Russo knocks it up ahead. Brown takes center ice, turns and dumps it in. Edney, the first player back. Pivots on the far side corner. We are halfway through our third period. Donahue leaves it back for Lewicki. And again, just the speed of Kristen Lewicki. Drags it inside. Backhand chance on turned away by Fitzgerald. And she went in clean from center ice and just beat everyone to the front of the net.
It's not often you're going to catch Mie Dench flat-footed, but Kristen Lewicki did that just there.
Ketchum chips it in. Goes around the opposing 17. Jordan Burns back up high to Grushow. Low pass in front. They score. And you can't give them any room, and the Buttes defenders scrambling in their own end. And it's that combination of Dench and Grushow again. And the Riveters have a 5-3 lead on Mie Dench's first of the evening.
That third time that play has occurred for this Buffalo Buttes team, and something definitely needs to be adjusted on the bench. Wide open on the back door, just a simple pass and a tip into the net. There's really nothing Levier can do about that. You know, she's got to square up to the shooter in the slot, and that back door is wide open. The defender has to be there.
You mentioned just a moment ago that Lewicki had caught Dench for one of the rare times you'll ever see that happen. Well, Dench just streaks right back down the other way, beats the Buttes defenders to the spot, and has given her team a huge 2-goal lead here. Now with 9 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, the puck careened into that little camera bay in between the two benches. Justin would normally be down there, dodging away from that. It is Hockey Fights Cancer Month here, and across the street, he was receiving some recognition for work he did as part of the 11-day Power Play charity hockey game, raising over $1 million for cancer research. So certainly encourage you, if I can get on my soapbox for a minute, to check out either their website or whatever your favorite cancer charity is, and help us all kind of fight this terrible disease. Riveters back in their own end. A cross picked up here by Colzer, who fires it clean off a couple of her teammates. Excuse me, that is Dosdell over there, who goes and quickly apologizes for almost decapitating one of her coaches. Face will stay down here on the Riveters end with 8:59 to go in the third. Coming up here to the right of Katie Fitzgerald. Is Mie Dench's third of the season, and that's another point for Alexa Grushow, who continues to have a 5-star season. And this top line for the Riveters that were kept very much in check at points here this evening. If somehow, you're looking at the score sheet, they haven't been everywhere. They've got 3 goals. Casorso. Taken away by Brown. Brown works it in front, shot block, rebound chance for Russo. She scores! I don't know where she found to put that shot through. Couple of defenders in front, and Levier sliding over, and Rebecca Russo buries it regardless. And this game is getting away from Buffalo. Riveters take a 6-3 lead.
Yeah, a bit of a bouncing puck. Brown kind of plays it off of a couple of Buttes defenders, and it lands just on Russo's stick, who's able to find the room between the blocker and the chest pad of Levier and the back of the net.
And all of a sudden, it is a 3-goal Riveters lead. Buffalo's going to take their time out here. Now, You don't get to take them to the next game. You might as well try to get something going here. 8:34 is a lot of hockey. The Riveters have scored 3 goals now in less than that.
Yeah, and we saw Buffalo score their 2 goals very close together in the first period as well. So, never say never, and we've seen stranger things happen in these NWHL games. We keep saying it throughout the broadcast that these are the 2 most evenly matched teams in the league, and I still believe that. Buffalo somehow looks a little slow this period, and I think, just kind of collecting themselves is a great time to call a timeout, light a fire under them, and get things going again. Levier deserves better, and this team deserves a better score than what is up on the board right now. You
wonder if the speed of the Riveters forwards is really getting to the Buttes defenders, who have had to chase them around now for over 50 minutes of play. See if the crowd can inspire this team as well. Tapping the glass in behind the Buttes bench. There are currently 6 Buttes out there, so they will send Jordan Burns back, and we'll go here for our center ice face-off. One back by Rafter. Ryan's pass ahead. Knocked down at the blue line. Kicked ahead, and Bowie trying to drag it through 1-on-3, able to knock it into the Riveters' end. Corin Bowie goes chasing after it. Vince there with her as well. Good job, though, getting back defensively from her forward position by Rebecca Morse, fighting off Bowie again, high off the glass. That was going to fall in front of her, but just a little bit out of her reach. Chesson skates it through center ice. Lisa Chesson back the other way. That pass slides to the crease, goes wide. Fresh skaters for Buffalo. Edney, backhand off the glass in behind the Riveters goal. Johnston turning with it, contested there by Donahue. But a great pass there by the Riveters captain. Finds Rafter, who's able to clear the zone. Edney picks it back up. Bank pass ahead, tipped in by Donahue. Looking for Lewicki. Off the glass around there to Taylor Acursi. Back to the point. Casorso winds and fires. That one deflected and rolls wide. Lewicki first one there for Buffalo. Knocks it around. Acursi looking for Donahue in front. Out of her reach. Riveters pick it back up with just over now 7 minutes remaining here in our third period. Dench chasing after it around Casorso. Ridden out of the play and picked up here by Burns. The point kept in by Colzer. Her shot deflected high. Glove down by Lewicki. Acursi leaves it there for Lewicki at the end of a long shift. Still plenty of speed, but a good job getting back there by the fresh legs of Alexa Grusha. Ketchum. Up ahead, back now to Grusha. Fires that one and floats wide into the opposing corner. Elia. Tries to go around the defender. Colzer got ridden out of the play. And the Riveters pick the puck back up. Chesson at the point, fires it off the wall. Ketchum at the point, trying to get it out here for the Riveters. Chesson able to keep it in one more time. 6:20 remaining here in the third. Colzer in behind her own goal line. Skamura intercepts that pass, fires that one wide. Kunachika. Over to Elia. Back to Kunachika. Working behind the goal. Back to Elia, looking back in front for Skamura, but they kind of played themselves out of room. It's a Riveters player who is down in the crease. I believe it's Kelsey Colzer. There's Skamura. Chesson. That's really wonder if they're going to blow the whistle here at any point with Buffalo having possession. Skamura's whack at it. Now a Riveter player finally touches the puck. And Colzer, who's been down for the better part of 30 seconds.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of close plays around the net, and I didn't necessarily notice what happened, but I have to wonder if maybe she bounced off of the pole in a, the crossbar in a funny manner.
I'll have to check the replay myself. I didn't see anything really happening, just your standard jostling at the near side post there. It was Colzer, I believe, down there with Maddie Elia and Courtney Kunachika. And I don't know if she just caught a stick awkwardly and the puck had moved away. I certainly hope she's okay. Having another great game here, getting some big top minutes. And she is skating now gingerly back to the bench with some assistance and now on her own back to the Riveters bench. So hopefully nothing too serious at all for Kelsey Colzer. She's going back to the bench and not the tunnel, which is always an encouraging sign. We have 5:51 remaining here in the third. Face-off will stay down here in the Riveters' end. She continues to talk it through here with the trainer. The Utes now have to start thinking about putting some pucks in the net if they're going to make a comeback in this game. Just under 6 minutes to go, and they are down 3. Burke away from Jones. Bowie. Off the linesman, taken away by Ryan. Now to Russo. Rebecca Russo. Play is offsides. Burke able to. The speed of Courtney Burke at defense. I don't think Russo realized that Burke was going to be able to catch and pass her there as she made that move with the blue line.
Yeah, and so far, offsides has been the only thing that's been able to slow down this speedy line for the Riveters tonight. They've obviously incredible, and the biggest story of the league so far, aside from Fitzgerald, is definitely the play of this line.
Casorso spinning with it. Walks it back out here to neutral ice. Pinballs, though, back down to the Buffalo end. Bowie leaves it across there for Ott. Touch pass intercepted by Russo. Back to Ryan. Back to Russo. Banks it up ahead. Looking to lead Lawler. Trying to go around Bowie. Surrounded by blue uniforms down there in the far side corner. And it's picked back up now by the Buttes. A diving effort there made by Apake, clear the zone. Now Bowie spinning back with it as we've reached the 5-minute mark now of our third period. Rebecca Vitt takes the shot from the blue line, turned away by Fitzgerald. Rafter spinning with it behind her own goal. Pass ahead here to Morris. Morris winds and fires, blocked it away by Levier. Puck squirts loose there, far side, picked back up by Taylor Accursi. Accursi works it in, lost the handle on it, couldn't quite create some space there. Back the other way, Rafter for the Riveters. Knocks it into the corner. Her line going off for a change as Chesson picks it back up ahead now to Donahue. Donahue off a leg of Ketchum getting back. Riveters contesting everything and just kind of wearing the Buttes down. Chesson spinning with it around here. Taken by Donahue. Turned it over. Back to Dench. Dench works it inside. Her shot low and wide. Her shot. Spinning with it in the slot. Back to Picard. Her shot floats wide. Rushot working it into the slot. Back to Picard. Cross. Trying to pick that far side corner with Levier moving. It caught off a stick and goes wide back to center ice.
Nicole's are back on the ice. That's a good sign for the Riveters.
Picard fires it hard around the boards. It comes actually all the way back down in front of the Riveters bench with very little interruption. Burke up ahead here to Dench. Pass across, deflected away by Skamura. Lawler getting back. They're able to turn away. Collides in front of the bench there with Skamura. And the puck squirts loose back down to Picard. It's a glove pass.
If this hockey thing doesn't work out, that was a nice snap from Lawler between the legs. You know, long snapper, it might be in her future.
You know, a little bit short for your average long snapper, but there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, you never know.
And don't let her size fool you. Erica Lawler goes in there amongst the trees, if you will, out there fighting against Aaliyah and Skamura, and gives up nothing in terms of grit and tenacity and just taking those pucks away from the longer reaches. Of
she has been killer in the circle tonight.
Kunichika. Her pass deflecting high, she collides with Burke. Comes loose in behind the Riveters goal there for Jenny Ryan. Up ahead, picked away by Russo, but taken back by the Buttes. Kunichika chasing after it. She's all by herself there on the near side wing. Kunichika shot blocked away by Burke. Burke content to let Kunichika make the first move and read it all the way. Pass ahead, backhanded into the Butte zone, chasing after it. I don't think Russo realized how much empty space she had in front of her. 2:40 and counting remaining here in our third period. Casorso. Her shot blocked down in front. Stretch pass the other way, looking for her. Is intercepted, but knocked back now, chasing after it. Tatiana Rafter. Backhand chance rising high over the crossbar. A tough angle, and didn't miss by much. Dazzle shot through traffic, deflected in front and wide. Morse from a bad angle, fought off by Levier, who will cover and hold, and there's a collision with Vint and her in front of the net.
Yeah, her makes a run at the goalie a little bit later, late. Maybe after the whistle had already blown and Vint was having none of it.
It's her third career NWHL game here, looking for her first goal. Maybe a little bit after the whistle, but you can understand her hope to get to the puck there and tuck one home late in this game. Face-off tied up, one back here by the Buttes. Lisa Chesson in behind the goal, leaves it there for Edney. Bank Pass ahead now to Corin Bowie. Stretch pass far side, leading Vint a little bit too much. That's going to roll actually all the way on to Katie Fitzgerald, who will hold on for a faceoff. 2:02 remaining here in this third period. Riveters looking to put a bow on it here with a 3-goal lead late. Buttes looking for something to build on here offensively.
We talked about the importance of this game earlier, so if the Riveters go up 4-0, that's 2-game lead on this Buffalo team. It's going to be hard to make up later on in the season, I think.
And with these teams being as even as they are, there'll be a couple more matchups here this year between them. The Riveters continue their dominance here in the early part of the NWHL. They've now beaten every team, and in this case, this is the second time they've beaten Buffalo. Connecticut and Boston play tomorrow afternoon, and theoretically, Connecticut can get themselves back up here if they can find a way to send the Pride to 0-4, which is a sentence that at the beginning of the season I think many of us thought was unthinkable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back the other way comes Buffalo. That one fired on high, riser off the face mask of Fitzgerald, who fights it off soccer style into the corner. Brown chasing after there for the Riveters. It's punched free and taken back here, walking the blue line by Sarah Casorso. Let's it roll there into the near side. Kersey couldn't find the handle on it. Donahue will pick it up. Pass across. Fired through by Ott. Deflected and gut one goes just wide. Might have been Casorso down there, all the way down from her defense position. Picked back the other way by Bowie. And she gets run out of the play there by Ryan. 40 seconds and counting to go here in our third period. This just got a little bit chippy. Kersey leaves it back at the point. Lewicki keeps it in for a second. A diving play there. And would you expect anything less from Harrison Brown? 59 minutes into a 3-goal game, then diving to clear his own zone.
Team needed a break, and that was definitely a great play by Brown there.
Lewicki tried to work it away from Morris. It deflects back into the Buffalo zone. 15 seconds to go here in the third. So the Metropolitan Riveters. There's no better way to start, no matter how we try to phrase it or how it looked through 40 minutes tonight. Had a hard time getting away from Buffalo, but turn on the Jets in the third period. They will go to 4-0 with a 6-3 victory over Buffalo tonight. 4 points clear of the Buttes and the Whale, depending on the outcome of tomorrow's game, for first place in the NWHL. And the Riveters machine just continues to chug along at both ends of the ice. They end up outshooting the Buttes 37-21 and come out here in the third period looking as fast and aggressive as ever. 3 goals here in the third period to salt this one away.
Yeah, and what can you really say about a team that's outscored its competition 12-5 in 2 games? You know, that there's not much better that you can do than 2 goals a period. Most teams aren't going to be able to hang with that, and Buffalo's definitely among them. When you have Fitzgerald backstopping you, confidence is definitely on your side.
And for Buffalo, a lot of good things to take away from this game, particularly the first 40 minutes. But at the end of the day, weren't able to keep up with the Riveters for 60 minutes. Curious to see if they can build off those first 40 there. They were able to get some shots, some traffic to the front of Fitzgerald, but it looked like just as the game went on, they weren't able to do so as easily, and the Riveters just kind of won that war of attrition until they were able to get those goals.
Yeah, and, I think Buffalo came out very physical. Obviously, they're a very talented team as well, but you have to wonder if they wore themselves down a little bit, too. We talked about the offensive firepower of the Riveters, how fast they are, and maybe that wore out the defense, but did our forwards wear themselves out, too, just kind of taking the body more often than they necessarily needed to?
So that is a wrap on our game here tonight in Buffalo. The Riveters with a 6-3 victory over the Buffalo Buttes here as they pose and salute the fans here at center ice. For Eric Wolschlager, I'm Jeff Boyd. If we don't see you or talk to you before, then have a very safe and enjoyable Thanksgiving holiday. And we will see you the next time the Buttes are home here December 16th when they host the Connecticut Whale at 1:30 for a Saturday face-off.
Twitter game of the week.
Twitter game of the week. We'll expect to see you all there. Until then, y'all, have a great night.